In an exclusive interview to NDTV, Ali Al-Naimi, the Saudi oil minister, says that the crude market is very healthy currently and that OPEC's emergency meeting is not really required. The strategy of supply cuts, he says, has been pretty successful. He spoke exclusively to NDTVProfit's Shweta Rajpal Kohli.
Are OPEC members worried about the current crude prices?
I don't think anybody in OPEC worries. Maybe people get concerned, but they don't worry, okay? Because if you worry, you get ulcers.
Right.
Okay,
But there were talks
you take action.
There were talks of an emergency meeting that OPEC was looking at. Is there any such possibility?
Well, if you listen to what I said earlier, the best thing for the market, which is growing healthier by the day, we should just wait and see the outcome of the situation of inventory. I believe supply, demand, and inventory are in equilibrium right now, and the market is definitely healthier than it was when we made the first decision in October in Doha.
So do we see OPEC not looking at any further supply cuts?
Well, you don't look at supply cuts when you believe the market is getting healthier. Okay?
Right. And also, considering the fact that their crude prices have been slipping, what, according to you, would be a fair price of crude oil given current demand-supply situation?
The fair price is whatever the market determines.
So the current prices is a fair price?
Whatever the market determines.
Is the price...
That is the market. See, this is a commodity that the market determines. One day it is at one level, the next day it's at another level. So that is what the price is.
All right, so if you worry, you get ulcers. That's a very simple enough mantra to live by, but that was just one view. What does the Nigerian counterpart for Mr. Al-Naimi have to say? Well, in another NDTV exclusive, Shweta Rajpal Kohli also met Edmund Daukuru, who had a slightly more worried outlook.
When Nigeria's Energy Minister Edmund Daukuru landed in New Delhi late last night, he had a clear task at hand: to sweet-talk one of the major oil consumers. Because sluggish demand is a big drag for him and his friends in the oil cartel, OPEC. Crude prices have slipped more than 15% since the start of the year, and OPEC is worried about that trend.
The market is clearly oversupplied for reasons I mentioned to you already. Mild winter, hedge funds are taking profit, and non-OPEC production is coming very strong. It may not be sustained for long, but while new non-OPEC production is coming, it does have an impact on the market.
But the man who has just finished his term as the OPEC president says there is no need to press the panic button just as yet, as they are waiting to see the impact of supply cuts. OPEC is to cut supply by 5 lakh barrels per day from the 1st of February, in addition to 1.2 million barrels per day supply cut from last November.
February is still to come. We are currently at 1.2, a cut of 1.2, and it is clear that the market is still oversupplied. We announced an additional cut of 500,000 effective from the 1st of February.
Even as countries like India get more and more hungry for fuel, OPEC members feel there still isn't enough demand to take care of the oversupplies of crude in the market. That's why top government officials of oil-producing nations are here in New Delhi to warm up to one of their largest consumers. Perhaps an indication of the growing importance of countries like India and China versus oil-producing nations like Nigeria and Saudi Arabia. In New Delhi with Kajori Sen, this is Shweta Rajpal Kohli for NDTV.
All right, our in-house oil and gas expert there, Shweta Rajpal Kohli. In fact, let's go across to Shweta now, who's in the newsroom standing by. Shweta, thanks for joining us on Business Prime Time. Right now, you spoke to both those men there. Both of them tried to underplay their own fears, but at the same time, not quite seeing eye to eye. So in a scenario where we see crude oil prices slipping and also demand slipping as well, how's it going to really play out?
Well, Siddharth, there are two issues that we need to understand here. One, the consensus that both the ministers seem to have as far as the issue of further supply cuts are concerned. And both seem to say that, well, wait till the 1st of February till we see that additional 5 lakh barrels per day of supply cut kicking in, and then we are going to take any further decisions. So even though there were talks of an emergency meeting that OPEC was supposed to convene, where we just heard two of the strongest members of the OPEC, the cartel, saying that no, there is no emergency emergency meeting. But well, what is then really causing crude prices to slip to these levels? While the Nigerian minister is quite clear that the reasons are basically mild weather and also clearly lack of demand and an oversupply in the market, well, the Saudi Arabia counterpart doesn't seem to think so. Well, he clearly says that it's a healthy market, and he's quite satisfied with the current state of affairs, and he says that it reflects very strong fundamentals and a very healthy crude oil market. Siddharth.
All right, Shweta, you've had a very long day. Thanks very much for joining us.